Let's do it. You're watching Sit Down with DJ Sixsmith. Taylor Tomlinson is here with us. Very funny Taylor Tomlinson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for watching it.
This was hysterical.
Oh, I really appreciate it. Sometimes you go in and you're like, you did not see this. And they're like, it was good. You were standing and talking.
You were making people laugh.
Yeah, like totally saw it. You did this in it. And I'm like, that's the thumbnail. But
it's like, hey, can you name a joke?
Right.
And that's usually what you can tell.
Yeah.
But this was like a full hour of laughs. Because you get some of these specials, it's like great 30 minutes, great segment here. Like, you really sustained it. So what was it like building that out and really getting an hour that you loved there?
Well, this is my first 1 hour special, so I've been working on it for 10 years. That's the nice thing about your first one, whereas I guess all the subsequent hours will be like, the last 2 years were crazy. But yeah, I mean, mostly these jokes are, maybe the oldest one in it is like 4 or 5 years old, and then the newest one is like a month.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot happened last summer, and I was like, all right, we gotta change
some
things. Yeah. And I think it was probably, the bulk of it is probably the last 5 years and the first half of my 20s.
That's
hence
awesome.
The title.
Yes. And there's a lot going on in your 20s. And you go right into it. It's like, hey, this kind of sucks. It's not as great as everybody made it seem. So what was it like unpacking that concept in this hour here?
I really feel like, as a now 26-year-old, you're welcome. I felt like starting as young as I did, I started doing stand-up at 16, and I felt like starting as young as I did, I didn't have the life experience to talk like politics or like social issues or whatever. So all I had was myself and my own experiences, and when you're 22, 23, even 25, you don't have that many.
True.
So this special is mostly just like, here are the things I've learned and the ways I've messed up. And then the second half is me trying to guess at when I should have kids, when I should get married, why I shouldn't get married, why other people are doing it too soon, you know, what my upbringing was like. Like, it's very me up until this point in my life.
And all really super relatable, because you could be 45 years old and you went through that, or you could be in your 20s right now and you're going through that.
Right. And if you are going through it, I'm so sorry. I get a lot of people on the road who come up to me who are, you know, in their 40s or 50s, and it's nice when those people go, oh my gosh, that's exactly what it was like, and I would not go back for anything in the world. And I'm like, I wouldn't stay here for anything in the world, so thank you.
Yeah. So what was the toughest part of the hour when you think back on it now?
The toughest part of the hour, I guess just running it into the ground, because by the last month, you've
done
run
it so many times,
and you're still tweaking it, and you're still messing with it, and you could do that until you're dead. I mean, even editing this special, I was like, what if we did, should we take out, should we add, where's good, should we move these things around? And at a certain point, you just have to go, all right, this is as good as it's gonna be. I have to give myself permission to let go of it. But yeah, that last month of just repetition, and also trying to write new material at the same time. So once I was done and had the hour in the can, I could immediately start building the new hour. So it was there was a lot of spinning plates.
Right.
Yeah.
When do you get to the point when you go through something and then you've had enough space from it where you can actually think about it and write about it? Because like family stuff was obviously, you know, like a decade old, but like relationship stuff is pretty fresh. So where do you get to the point where you're like, okay, this has happened, now I can talk about it, write about it?
I mean, I guess it just depends. I feel like relationship stuff specifically goes into the act real quick.
Yeah, you're cool with it? No issues?
I mean, even if I'm not cool with it, we're doing a joke about it. It helps me get cool with it almost, because if I can write a joke about something that happened that was awful, it's like a way to go, okay, that happened, but now I have this money. Like, that's good. Like, it's not just
that
a
makes
bad
it feel
thing.
A little better.
Yeah, it's an actual joke I can do on television or somewhere. So yeah, I had like a really bad breakup. I like called off an engagement over the summer, and it was after I knew I had the special coming up. And so for a few months, it was like, all right, we got to retool kind of the entire hour for order-wise, which, like, thank God, because how fun would it have been to watch a 25-year-old be like, thank you for my first Netflix special. I'm engaged. Like, oh, the worst. So once that fell apart, I was like, wow, this is very on theme
Yep.
for this special.
This fits a lot more now.
It was great. I mean, everything happens for a reason, which is something white girls say
Yes,
to make themselves feel
yourself
better.
Has your ex seen the stuff?
No. I mean, hopefully, I don't know. No, he hasn't seen any of the jokes about our engagement being broken. No, we haven't talked. So, I mean, hopefully he'll probably watch it,
I think
right?
some people will probably tell.
Right?
He doesn't get buried in there either. I mean, you just kind of tell what happened in a sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, and there's no jokes about him
specifically,
in it. Yeah. It's just about getting engaged
Right.
and calling it off and that whole process, which once I started doing those jokes, so many like girls around my
Happens
age.
all the time.
Oh, it
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah.
And I felt like such a failure. And these girls are coming up to me like, oh my gosh, I just called off my engagement of 4 years. I just got divorced after getting married for 2. Like, you know, it was just, it was so comforting to
Yeah,
know,
I'm
like,
sure.
this is very common. Also, congrats on getting married so
Thanks.
recently. I'm sure everything will work out.